players.
Powell dropping straight back. Here comes some pressure. Dumps it off. Got it to Keaton Jones. He's loose the 10. The 5. Angles in. Did he get there? Touchdown. Touchdown. Oneonta.
It's 35 playoff appearances.
40, 35, 30. Sincere Baker, you can't catch him. Touchdown, Oneonta.
It's 58 playoff wins.
Fakes the quick toss. Got guys wide open deep down the left side. 20, 25, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Forget about it. Trevor Smith, 56 yards.
It's 19 region titles.
They've got a man open deep. Jaden Kent, there he is. Jaden Kent inside the 5, all the way. Touchdown, Oneonta.
It's 5 state titles.
Powell, good snap. Fakes the toss out there on the left side. Now he's got to keep it. He's loose. 45 outside the 40. 35, 30 down the sideline. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Look back. No flags. 50 yards for Cole Powell.
At some places, they play football. At Oneonta, we live it.
That was your J&M Pharmacy pregame show. 274-2740 is the number for them. Go check them out. Tell them that Justin and Jeremy sent you. This game, of course, brought to you by the Oneonta Foundation for Educational Resources. They're thankful for the ones that made that possible to be our game sponsor this year. Oneonta, JB Pennington. Jeremy, I know in the past you've called a good bit of these games. This is it's a rivalry that's maybe lost its luster the last few years, but Oneonta hasn't lost to JB Pennington since 2000. It's been a while, but it's still a good rivalry between these two schools.
Oh yeah, it's always it's a great game. It's always gets a little chippy at times, and I'll be honest, it's a little more fun at Pennington just because you're a little closer to the action. You get to hear a little bit of that chippiness and all that. But I'm glad to be home tonight with this heat. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter where you play. It's always going to be a good one.
Eric Vargas will kick from our right to our left. You're going to have Dawson Blackston. Matthew Frost is back there, as well as Jackson Timmerman on kickoff. Blackston standing back at his own 10. The other two backs at the 15. There's the kick end over in as Timmerman will get it at his own 10. Up to the 15, 20, right in the middle of the field as he is taken down at the 20. Give him the 30-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10. Hayden Floyd, your sophomore quarterback, just like Oneonta with Braden Moore. Hayden Floyd, 1,200 yards passing, just shy of 1,300, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. But they like to rely on that run, Jeremy, of Dawson Blackston. Over close to 600 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns this year. They're going to line up 2 receivers to the top. They put 1 in motion, and Blackston. Floyd back to pass. That one on the out route, it's caught by the receiver at the 40 and number 7, Sawyer Heppenstall. That is a first down brought to you by Chris Neesmith and Joey Bailey of Woodman Life.
Yeah, he was wide open. Now, the Heppenstall, that's a long time JB Pennington name there.
Yeah.
Those guys have been around for a while, but they're just wide open there out in the flat.
Pennington's going to pick up the pace. Here comes Mitchell, and I believe Crittner as well. It was them two. They'll get the tackle. It wasn't a sack, as it was a design run. He'll lose 3. Cassidy wants to pick up the pace, and for Mitchell right there, Jeremy, that's his 9th and a half tackle for loss.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was just a busted, no blocking there on that left side. Just took him down.
2nd and 13. No backs. They'll hand it off. Nope. Floyd keeps it himself, and he picks up 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 9. A good little 4-yard run by the quarterback right there. And Hayden Floyd, who stands at 5'11", 165. I feel like he's a little bit bigger than that. At quarterback, I'd say he's probably about 195 is what it looks like. 3rd and 9. It's the first 3rd down attempt for JB Pennington. Heartbreaking loss last week as they fell by 2 to midfield. 3rd and 9. Got to get to the 50 for the first down. 3-man front for Oneonta, and they're going to jump off sides. But did one of them flinch? I don't think so. No, nobody flinched. Mitchell not happy with himself. And they'll mark it off. So instead of that 3rd and 9, you're looking at 3rd and 4, a little bit manageable for that Tiger offense. Cassidy last year, he had a couple of electric playmakers in Noah Allison, Cole Littleton. What a great player those two guys were. Noah Allison, I believe, is at Miles?
It is Miles, yeah.
Miles College, and Cole Littleton is somewhere up in Tennessee playing. 2 great young men, especially Cole Littleton. 10-10 left, first quarter, tied at 0. It's 3rd and actually about 5. Got to get to the 50. They'll hand it off to Blackson to the left. Here come the linebackers. And I believe that may be Luke Hodge, who's the one that crashed in and made. Nope, I take that back. That is Eli Buse. No, I was right the first time. It was Luke Hodge. The Duke making the tackle on his fourth down.
Those jerseys a little tough to make out the numbers sometimes.
So 4th and 6. Back is Andrew McAlpine, one of the, I think, 11 seniors this year on the Oneonta football team. 9.5 left. Off the 44-yard line in Tiger territory. A little bit of a low snap. They'll get it off. Good punt. McAlpine tries to fall on it, and Pennington's going to come away. Well, I don't know. McAlpine may have got back on it.
I thought he was attempting a fair catch, but maybe, I guess he did. Let's get penalty flags.
Oneonta's going to hold on to. That's a close call, especially when you're about to get the ball for the first time tonight. You don't want to give it right back to J.B. Pennington. Last week, Jeremy, Braden Moore, new starter for Oneonta on offense with Brody Moore out. Good game for the sophomore. Very good game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he did a fantastic job. Has the last couple of weeks.
David's back in there. They'll put David in motion, and they'll roll out to the far side. Braden design run as he uses his skill set to pick up 5 yards on the first down run. Biggest hit last week. Coaches decided it. I told the coaches it's got to be this hit. Braden Moore's hit on a run took a guy and threw him about 5 yards.
Yeah, wasn't really a stiff arm, more of just kind of a forearm shiver, just to get off of me type of deal. And excuse me, slung him on out of bounds.
You all right over there?
No, not really.
8:45 left. First quarter, on their first drive. It's 2nd and 5. Has McAlpine. Goes to the other side of the field. Now he comes back this way. They will hand it to McAlpine with David Hall leading, and the turf monster comes up and gets Andrew McAlpine. It's rained the last couple of days. I was out in the field earlier when I first got here. That field is slippery.
Yeah.
Do we have a flag? Yes, it is a hold. That will push back the Oneonta offense some. Right now, my office is in my house, and my computer is right in front of the window, and so I get to see it rain. Yeah,
it rained a lot yesterday.
For the ones that were complaining for the rain, you got your wish. And, of course, now the temperature has just decided to drop drastically. It'll be 2nd and 20. 2nd and 20 back at their own 19-yard line. 3 wide receivers for Braden Moore. They've got 3 guys covering the 2 down here. Safety playing near the hash. Braden will take the snap, hand off to David Hall, who's looking for 2 yards to get to 1,000, and he's not going to get it on that carry, as he's going to go back to the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 3 right there, and it'll be 3rd and long for this Oneonta offense. And I talked to the Pennington crew. They love their run defense. They feel like that's the strongest part of this team, and we see it right there.
Yeah, there was an Oneonta lineman I just happened to pick up that time that was where that play was coming, and he didn't touch anyone. So that's what happens.
Yeah,
when you don't at least touch the guy in front of you.
Yeah, they'll hand it off to David this time again up the middle. He will get 5 yards right there, and that will give him 1,000 officially. But Oneonta's going to be forced to punt. It'll be 4th and long as they go 3 and out on their first drive, just like J.B. Pennington.
Yeah, that drive was just doomed from the beginning, with the muff punt and jumping on it, then the penalty. And really unable to get anything going up the middle there. Just J.B. Pennington, as you mentioned, way undersized against this Oneonta offensive line, but getting the job done so far.
Cassidy's very high on his linebacker, John Williams. He was the guy last year we saw make a lot of plays, 5'11", 205. He's only a sophomore. Here's the punt from Bo. End over in. We'll take a Oneonta roll across the 45 down to the 40-yard line. They'll officially at the 39-yard line. They flip the field. With 6:41 left, it'll be 1st and 10 for Pennington's 2nd drive of the night. The Oneonta defense goes back out there. Next week, we're going to be at home for the first round of the playoffs, as we'll be hosting Good Hope. Pennington, they're on the road at Piedmont. Good luck to J.B. Pennington. Blackston is the running back. Hayden Floyd the quarterback, and they will run the read with Floyd. And unfortunately for Pennington, nobody was blocked as a linebacker and Eli Buse and Mitchell crashed in, made the play.
Yeah, that left side. J.B. Pennington keeps trying to go to that. Is it their own sideline around that left side? This just is not happening for them.
Tough sledding, and they're kind of running away from Bo Ragsdale.
Yeah.
Which is understood.
Yeah.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cassidy with a different formation. Cassidy's like Phil. He loves to throw out all kinds of stuff at you. 59 left, play action. Floyd, little curl routes. Good tackle right at the 45-yard line, but it is caught by John Vargas, a 5'8 senior. Picks up 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 5 again for J.B. Pennington, just like the previous drive, and they didn't convert.
Yeah. Brought down McCollum Moon. Collin was right there in his back pocket, so minimal gain there, 5. Good job there.
0-0 here in the first quarter. This time you'll have 3 behind the line of scrimmage, 1 right behind the quarterback, and then 2 up backs for Floyd, and they will run play action again. They're looking to go out into the flat. They do. Caught by number 11 and trying to get the ball away as Riley McGill was the one that takes him down. Matthew Smith was the one that got it, and so Woodman Lai first down, and Pennington is now in Oneonta territory for the first time tonight.
Yeah, kind of just got in that right seam out there and was found wide open. So nothing good. That's better. The only success they're having is little short passes, but absolutely moving the ball down.
Is there a timeout? Head referee's looking. Or is the chains messed up? The chains are messed up. That's what it is. As they are trying to get those chains untangled. There they go. No, I take that back. They don't have them untangled yet. They're trying to get it fixed right there at the other side of the 30-yard line. Oneonta basketball, they'll be
want to get another set, looks like.
Yeah, participating in a jamboree game tomorrow. They are going to go get another set. Let's take a quick commercial break. 5:06 left here, first quarter, 0-0, Oneonta J.B. Pennington. When we come back, you're listening to Oneonta football here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. I thought that they were about to get play back underway. They're still trying to find another first down marker in the away team locker room. They called the teams back out onto the field, and they're still taking a break. So Oneonta basketball, they're in a jamboree game tomorrow. As we'll keep it here for a few minutes. We'll talk about Oneonta basketball. As they'll be going up to Geraldine. No coverage of it, but I'm going to go watch. As girls and boys will both be in action tomorrow. Been in a couple practices this week. Boys are looking pretty good. The girls are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Boys with the that senior class this year of Daniel McCary, Eric Moore, DeAndre Elliott, Eli Buse. This is Jacob Green. This is a group that as sophomores, well, Eli's a junior, but this is a group that we said a couple years ago as sophomores.
Yeah,
they're going to have a chance to be really special, and we're going to see it this year. And last year, of course, they were really good, making it to JSU. I know they have huge goals this year, but Coach Cruz has got it rolling in basketball, boys.
Yeah, he's done a good job since he's been here. Done a great job, actually. Of course, let's be honest, he's been dealt some pretty good hands.
Exactly.
But he's done a fantastic job with that hand he's dealt. So, just got the basketball program going in a great direction. As he's been here, this is what his third season.
Yeah.
So, done a fine job.
Tied for the most wins in a coach's first 2 seasons in Oneonta history with 47. It's a pretty remarkable feat of what he's done so far. Girls program, and I talked to Elrod all week, and I spoke to him actually before the game right outside the field house, and I'm going to be writing an article about the girls and boys program, a season outlook, and I said you can no longer use the excuse of we're young. Yeah, it's now time of you gotta show it, and so what you guys have been working on, and girls like Savannah Robertson, Brittany Chavez, Tegan Hartman, Britton Pass, Virginia Grace Ricci, Baylor Phillips, and they got a new one in Sydney Baker who comes in from Locust Fork. He's got some great pieces to work with, and he's really excited about this season.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you said, those anytime you're having to start 8th and 9th graders, that it's going to be rough for a while, but then it's going to pay off with that game experience. So, there's several of those girls that have been playing on the varsity level since Britton passed. Like you said, Savannah, Brittany was playing at an early age. Lots of those girls were like that, and it's going to pay off.
Yeah, it really will. As the gentleman who took the chains to the locker room is back out, and he's got some chains in his hand, but I'm not sure. Now he's going back. I'm not sure what's going on. I know Bender walked in there. So if you're just joining us, it's 0-0. Pennington's got the ball 1st and 10 at the Oneonta 39 is where we're at, 0-0. And a pause in this game with the chains getting tangled, I believe, and they're trying to sort that out. Let's take another break. We'll get some bills paid with our clients. 5:06 left here from Gilbreth Stadium inside the Team One Toyota broadcast booth. You're listening to Oneonta football here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team One Toyota broadcast booth. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde. And the chains have been fixed. I don't know if Bender fixed them. Who am I kidding? Bender probably just went in there and just supervised.
Y'all hurry up and get those chains fixed.
He goes, that's not how it goes.
Y'all hurry up. Let's go.
As they're playing jump around. And Pennington players having a good old time on the sideline over there.
I think you're just trying to stay warm.
Don't blame him.
I saw Chris doing that earlier when I checked in with him next door.
He was jumping.
He was standing awful close to John.
I don't know if it's because he's trying to get some heat off of John.
I think that's what it was.
Chris is a skinny guy like me, but I've got my distance between me and you. Here we go. 5 minutes left. 1st and 10 at the 39 in Oneonta territory. They'll hand off to the running back as he has stood up after gaining 4 yards. It's number 16, John Williams, the linebacker we talked about a while ago, 5'11", 205 sophomore. It's a good 4 yards he picked up right there.
This drive, even with that big pause, they're just moving right along. They finally got some yardage. That's probably the best run of the night for Pennington.
4.5 left, first quarter, 0-0. Pennington on their second drive of the night.
Who was J.B. Pennington?
I don't know. 2nd and 6, they'll roll out. Floyd looking. He's going to go up deep, wide open in the end zone, and he overthrew Sawyer Heppenstall by about 2 yards, and he had about 5 yards in between him and the secondary right there. So a little bit of a busted coverage on the back end right there for Oneonta, and it'll be 3rd and 7. We'll see if this Oneonta defense can get off the field like they did on the first drive. Pennington fans, the players trying to get the fans into it here on a chilly Friday night. 2 running backs with Hayden Floyd, John Williams and Dawson Blackston, 1 to each side with 2 receivers. Defensive line makes a late shift and a flag on the play. It's going to be a delay of game, and that's a costly. Well, did he get timeout in? I think he got timeout in just in time. Yeah, no flag. It's a sharp 1 investigation. It's timeout, 0-0. With about 4 minutes left as the clock continues to roll down. We'll be right back after this here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team One Toyota broadcast booth. This game brought to you by the Oneonta Foundation for Educational Resources. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde, here inside a warm press box. 3:53 is what they got on the clock. It's 3rd and 6.
It's not that warm, a press box, actually.
I was being nice. Floyd, a little bit of curl route and a good tackle. He will be a yard short as Riley McGill squared him up, put him down. It'll be 4th and 1, and I think Pennington will go for it. They're going to bring out some extra beef right here. Where's the beef, Jeremy Hyde? Where's the beef?
Where is the beef?
4th and 1. Oneonta trying to get off the field. Floyd looks back to the sideline with 3:20 left. Ball at the 31-yard line. A little bit of a high snap. They'll hand it off to the left. I don't think he got it. Let's see. It's a left foot, right foot, Jeremy. Is he short? Yes, he was short. Oneonta gets off the field. Good job by the Oneonta defense.
Yeah, they definitely bent, but didn't break that time, and had the long pause. Everybody out there getting cold, but able to get the big stop there on 4th down.
So 3:13 left in the first quarter. 3:13 left, third quarter. Oneonta on their second drive of the night. They'll run the read. Braden keeps it himself, jumps over a guy that was on the ground. He went right over him, picks up 6 yards on the first down run. As Braden Moore, the sophomore quarterback, the son of Brandon Moore, who was a decent athlete back in the day.
Yeah, decent athlete back in the leather helmet days of Springville High School.
2:52 left, 2nd and 4. Oneonta's first drive, Jeremy, not a good one.
No, it wasn't. But see if we can get something going this time.
They'll fake it. Now they'll throw it out to Colin Moon this side. That was Luke Hodge, who just put the wood to a Pennington Tiger. Picks up the Whipping Life first down. The 4s, I saw a 4, got me confused. It was Luke Hodge.
Yeah, good job there by Luke with the catch, and then the run after the catch, and then a little contact there at the end as he was ridden out of bounds.
So 1st and 10 after the Whipping Life first down. And the side judge blowing the whistle. I think he's making sure everybody was set.
This is raising the roof.
Yeah.
For the Redskins.
2:34 left. 1st and 10 at their own 49. As the Oneonta offense back to the sideline to get the play. Moon will be to the left of Braden Moore. Moore will keep it himself across the 50-45. Carries a Tiger with him, and number 13, Matthew Frost. Braden Moore showing the strength right there to carry the Tiger.
Absolutely. Yeah, great blocking here on the left side this time by both Wilson and Hill. But, that leads to some great running. So great job there by Moon, getting behind his blockers, big gain of 1st down.
2:13. As clock winds down here in the first quarter. Buse will split out to the right with Riley McGill. Braden, they'll give it off to Colin Moon. Right side, breaks one tackle. Moon up to the 28-yard line, just shy of the 1st down. It's the first good run for Colin Moon tonight after a strong performance. Him and Braden Moore shared the player of the week for the Redskins. Players of the game for the Redskins. Both of them about 120 yards rushing. 2nd and 1. 1:40 left here in the first quarter at the Pennington 28-yard line. Braden takes his time, 9 on the play clock. Moore back to pass, 3-step drop. Lets one deep up to McAlpine, just off of his hands. McAlpine falling backwards. It's a tough play. I love the play call, though, from Phil Phillips. It's 2nd and 1. Why not take a shot deep?
Yeah, absolutely. Just went for it. But, it's a completely different trajectory on the passes from Moore versus Pinion. Pinion's got a great arm strength, but his more of a line drive. Somehow, Braden, there's a lot more air under it, just right out of his hand.
Yeah.
But that time, just off the fingertips of McAlpine.
3rd and 1. Moon splits out. They'll run with Braden Moore. Braden's got the first down. 25 flag on the play up across the 20-yard line, and that one may come back. Probably a hold from the ref that threw it. Yeah, that's what it was. So that one will come back. It was on the hold on the left side of that line. 1:14 left. First quarter, 0-0. So instead of a Whipping Life first down, it will be 3rd. Now they'll mark it off. 3rd and 11, maybe. 3rd and 12. Phil may make it a 2-play situation. If he can at least get half of this, I feel like he'd go for it on 4th down. Oneonta's second drive of the night, a lot more productive than their first. 3 receivers to the left. McGill, Buse, and Hodge. McAlpine by himself to the right. Moore. Going to go screen out to McGill. McGill's got some blockers. 35-30, 25, up to the 20. It's another Woodman Life first down as they move the chains. Good job by the blockers more than anybody else.
It's so frustrating there for a defense to get them in a long situation like that, and then they're able to come up with something out of the Phil Phillips playbook.
Something we haven't seen in actually in a few weeks was that screen.
Yeah.
Saw it a lot early on in the year. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line for this Oneonta offense trying to take the lead. Couple of hard cancel, handoff to Moon. They blitzed, and it's going to cost him as Moon gets up near the 10. They'll mark him down at the 11 as you hear the not boos, but Moon from the stands. Costly blitz right there as Moon avoided it.
Yeah, I like it. I like Aragon's jersey right now. It's kind of riding up on him a little bit. Like me in the morning after waking up.
Collier McPherson, too.
Yeah, Collier's riding up, but then he ain't got quite the
gut.
The build that Aragon has.
No. Into the first quarter, 0-0. JB Pennington, Oneonta. Be right back. You're listening to Oneonta Football here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back into the first quarter, 0-0 here inside the Team One Toyota broadcast booth. This game brought to you by the Oneonta Foundation for Educational Resources, 0-0. Oneonta, JB Pennington. Any of the scores around the county, Mr. Hyde?
Let's see here.
There's only 2 to choose from. You got Susanmore, Cleveland.
Susanmore up 7-0 over Cleveland right now.
And of course, Southeastern and Asbury.
Yeah.
Going out.
Ranburn up on White Plains 14-7. Oaks Bluff over Sardis 7-0.
There you go. 2nd and 3.
0-0 at Asbury.
At the 11, Moore rolls out to the right. Little curl routes completed. It'll be a Woodman Life first down for Riley McGill down at the 6-yard line, I believe, is where they will put the ball, maybe the 7. It will be the 7. It's a 1st and goal now for the Oneonta offense for the first time tonight with them being in the red zone.
IMG Academy 10, Hoover 0 at this point in time. Think that changes?
Yeah, that score will change. It'll be IMG a whole lot. David Hall's in there, the senior running back with 1,000 yards now, looking to pick up another touchdown. See what they do here. It was going to be a design run, but a flag on the play. And Riley McGill's clapping. It may be offsides. Yeah, it's going to be offsides. 21-6, Susan Moore over Cleveland. That's your update from the RevCom. Who's at that game? So half the distance, they'll go up to the 3-yard line. For Oneonta, they've got some extra size out there with Mitchell, Luke Hodge. Hall's in there. They will hand off to David to the right. David breaks the first tackle, trying to stretch that ball out. He does. Touchdown, Oneonta. David Hall, his 19th on the season, his first of the night on senior nights.
Hall from 4 yards out, able to get the ball across the plane there in traffic, with contact, able to just muscle his way in there, the senior, getting it done.
Eric Vargas will kick the extra point in those bright, was that teal? What color would you describe that?
I would say green, but I guess we'll get more specific, would go teal.
Kick is up, and the kick, actually it's a flag on the play.
Offsides again.
They'll put that on the kickoff.
Decline it. They're going to decline that one.
They will decline it. And it will be good. So 7-0. We'll be right back after this. Oneonta leads it here on the Redskin Radio Network.
For calling MPE Service.
Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. Your Team Nancy and Shannon scoring drive recap for the Redskins.
It was a 70-yard drive, capped off by that 4-yard touchdown run by David Hall. Point after was good twice.
Yes.
Oneonta leads 7-0 with 11 minutes to play in the second quarter.
We'll explain that to you here in a second. Back at the 19, they bring it out to the 20, 25, and that's as far as he gets. To the 29-yard line, as there on the tackle was Mason Stevens. But they had to kick the extra point one more time. It was up and good. Anyway, so 7-0, and that was a good drive for the Redskin offense. They did have that holding call, but on third down, they still converted it. And then David Hall punching it in. See what this Oneonta defense does for the third time tonight against the Pennington offense. 10:55 left, 7-0. Hayden Floyd, your quarterback, the sophomore, and a flag on the play. And I believe it was delay of game unless Cassidy got a timeout in. No, he didn't get the timeout in time. Spoke with Cassidy earlier in the weekend today, and when we found out Saturday that they made the playoffs, I said, Coach, congratulations. Y'all have had a good second half of the season. He goes, I don't know if I want to accept that. You're going to go at Piedmont. I know they're going to show up and try to compete against Piedmont. It's a good, tough team, and design run by Floyd, nothing there. As it will be second and about 14-15.
You know, I always take the Piedmonts and the teams like that. Five. Anybody like that, they're intimidating. But man, you get a really good glimpse of what you can be when everybody buys in.
That one caught by number 7 on the out route as Will Robertson brings him down. Sawyer Heppenstall's been a little bit of a thorn in her side. It'll be 3rd and 1. Now for the Tigers offense, they're hurrying back to the line.
Sawyer Heppenstall giving them fits tonight.
Wearing the same number as Cole Littleton last year. Number 7. Jersey getting dirty. 3rd and 1 at the 38-yard line. Need to get to the 39 for the first down. Oneonta defense trying to sort itself out. And that'll be a flag. It's going to be the right side of that line, Jeremy. Every one of them moves.
Yeah, 3 of them jumped.
And that's a penalty you don't want to look back at the sideline.
Well, you got a couple of guys on the defensive front of Oneonta moving a little bit, but they can do that as long as they don't cross the line. Offense unable to hold their position.
So instead of 3rd and 1, it's 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6 with 9:48 left. Oneonta on top, 7-0. So Pennington, instead of having it short and probably we're going to run it, now they're going to have to maybe go pass here. They've had good success with the short out routes. Heppenstall lines up by himself. Play action. Looking, that one in a big lick. That one thrown up and caught by Heppenstall. Floyd took a shot, but it's a big Woodman Life first down as Heppenstall had the height.
Absolutely. He went up there and got that one. Missed him the first drive of the game for J.B. Pennington, just kind of on the fingertips, but that time just close enough, and great grab there. Good coverage, just wasn't in the right spot to break the pass up.
So now into Oneonta territory, the Tigers go at the 35-yard line. Big Woodman Life first down, brought to you by Chris Neesmith and Joey Bailey. Blackston is the running back. And in motion, they'll hand it off as Bo Ragsdale was the one that takes him down after a gain of 3, maybe 4 on the run right there.
I know this is a rivalry game and everything, but J.B. Pennington does not look like a 3-6 team at this point.
No.
Or Oneonta is not playing like a 6-3 team, or maybe a little combination of both. But J.B. Pennington moving the ball well at this point.
They are. Second, we'll say 7. Floyd will hand off to the left as Blackston and Mitchell and Robertson, David Hall, and just a whole other slew of Redskins. No gain right there. It'll be 3rd and 6. for J.B. Pennington. So far, the success has come really through the air. A couple of one big shot just a few plays ago, and a lot of them are just those out routes.
Oh, absolutely. Mitchell doing a good job there in the middle. How dangerous would Mitchell be if he was about 2 inches taller and another 20 pounds on him?
Third down, 5 wide. Quick little out route, incomplete. Fourth down, the pressure. It's the guy you just mentioned, Keezy Mitchell. 4th and 6 right there, and the pressure really forced that throw to go quick.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's really blocked him all year. It's just a simple fact. He's pressured quarterbacks. I don't know how many tackles he's had on runs this year, just countless. But done a fine job, and his first year play here for the Redskins.
He's third on the team in tackles, sitting at 47, with 9.5 of them being for loss.
Yeah, lining up at nose guard most of the time.
Yeah. 3 receivers. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Floyd back to pass. They're going to go screen and incomplete as John Williams off of his hands. He may have had the first down if he would have held on to it.
Yeah.
As Oneonta defense bit, but they catch a break, and it will be a turnover on downs with 7:49 left. It'll be at the Oneonta 31-yard line for them. David Hall will be the back. Let's see if we may take a shot deep right here with play action. More. Nope, they'll hand it off to David Hall. There's a big hole for David across the 50, 45. Hello, senior. Go all the way to the house. It is a 69-yard touchdown. The 20th of the year for David Hall. Touchdown, Oneonta. And the only people that made contact with him was his offensive lineman.
Yeah.
And he touched them. Good run from David Hall. Great job by the offensive line. Vargas will kick the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, up. It is good. Big statement drive right there. 14-0 with 7.5 left. You're listening to Oneonta Football here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in your Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde, Team Nancy and Shannon scoring drive recap. Coming up after this kickoff return here for Blackston at his own 10, 15, 20. And that's all he's getting, Jeremy Hyde, the coverage team. Superb job right there. And they will get it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. But your Team Nancy and Shannon scoring drive recap.
Absolutely. It was a 69-yard drive. It was a 69-yard run by David Hall for the touchdown. The point after was good, and Oneonta leads 14-0 with 7:35 to play in the second quarter.
Team Nancy and Shannon, they're my realtors. They should be your realtors as well. I trust them. When we bought our first house, they can help you buy or sell. Do you think people do trades on houses?
I'm sure they do all kind of stuff with houses.
7:27 left. Hayden Floyd in this Pennington offense, and Todd Cassidy with his hands on his hip is very, very frustrated. He takes a timeout. Let's take a timeout with him. It's 14-0. Oneonta leads here on the Redskin Radio Network. That timeout brought to you by Sharp One Investigations. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde. We're trying to stay warm up here on a chilly Friday night, week 10.
There's a bit of a nip in the air.
Yes, there is. They'll design run for Hayden Floyd. Crittner. First time we mentioned his name tonight. He was, I think that's the one that was on the tackle. I tell you, when you stand next to Crittner, it's just a beast.
He's a big boy.
Of course, his dad's a pretty good-sized guy as well.
Yeah.
7 minutes left. Second quarter, Oneonta on top, 14-0. 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7. At the 22-yard line, Floyd. That one off the fingertips. He's got a good arm. Is that what was intended for? I think Jacob Martis, far side of the field, incomplete. Cassidy having to replace a 2-year starter in Noah Allison, but Cassidy's high on Hayden Floyd, just a sophomore. good size, good arm. Just got to get those other pieces put in there and get things going.
Absolutely. Tell you what, having a guy out there like Heppenstall surely helps.
5 wide receivers, nobody back there. They're going to run that out route again, and it will be a first down. As on the tackle, it was Andrew McAlpine, and there's Heppenstall again. And J.D. Whited not happy. And I think he's saying we got to get a little bit closer on that coverage, because that's all they're doing. They're running those out routes.
Yeah.
Is there a flag on the play? No. 6.5 left. Oneonta on top, 14-0. Coming up at halftime, it's the Swamp Tales halftime report. We'll have a special guest, and Jeff Gibbs, he'll be joining us. We'll also have the first half review from Jeremy Hyde. They'll go screen out to the far side of the field. David Hall gets on top of Blackston, broke that tackle. Finally, tackled out of bounds. Gain of 7, maybe 8 for JB Pennington. That connection right now with Blackston and Hayden Floyd and Heppenstall is pretty good. 2nd and 2. Picked up 8. As they all look at their wristbands for the next play. 5:47 clock running here in the second quarter. Gilbreth Stadium. Floyd, a couple of backs. They'll hand it off to John Williams. Right side, got the first down. 4-yard run. It's a Woodman Life first down.
The play opened up that time. That was something that wasn't happening in the first quarter. But offensive line of J.B. Pennington getting a little more of a push now. His defense has been out here a little while, so it's cold. I mean, it is just cold. It's just one of those nights. It's not temperature-wise. It's not just.
Are you okay?
I don't think so. I think I may get a little sick or something. I'm over freezing to death.
Because last week you were the first one to turn on the heat.
I know.
And you're the first one to openly claim that you're actually cold before I am.
I turned 40. I've fallen apart.
1st and 10 at the 44. They'll hand off to Williams again. Right side of the line, gets a yard. That was it. Our futures are.
Just think when I'm 70, like Chris.
I was about to say that. I was about to say, look, our future is very bleak, because if you're at 40 already complaining, I'll be honest. This morning I woke up at 5 o'clock, freezing my tail off, couldn't go back to sleep.
Yeah. Well, see,
my whole body was aching.
With Chris, I've got like an R30 insulation value. Yeah. He's looking at like an R5. He's like a piece of foam board or something. So
they'll hand off this way with number 11 on the sweep, and looked like Luke Hodge. It was Luke Hodge who slung him around. Nothing on the run right there. I'm a little bit bigger built than Chris. Chris probably weighs what, 140?
So yeah, with his work boots on.
Work boots on. I'll tell you my weight, and you may be surprised. 210.
210.
Right here in the belly. It's right there in the belly. 3rd and 9 at the 44-yard line. Nobody back there with Floyd. Back to pass. Here comes pressure. Luke trying to get to him, and that one will be incomplete. And they're going to throw a flag. It'll be pass interference.
Oh, that's questionable.
I actually think it was the right call. David all over the back of Matthew Robertson.
He's making a play on the ball.
They are discussing at the 44-yard line. Yeah, it's going to be pass interference. Costly penalty, because Oneonta was about to get off the field right there. 3:47 left, up 14-0 for Oneonta.
Sure. Coach Phillips down there discussing
about his scar tissue.
I think he's talking scar tissue with this young fella. It's between him and the play right now.
It's like, I'm not going to let you see this next play until you give me a good answer on that. Did you guys win last night?
Yes.
Good job.
Well, we'll play Tuesday this week, but yes.
Good bounce back win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's all about how you respond from the loss. Pistol formation for Floyd. They'll hand off to Blackston right side. Blackston got a good 3 yards, maybe 4 on that first down run. David Hall, one of the guys making the tackle, as well as Luke Hodge. So 2nd and 7.
I'm proud of my little soccer team. They're going in the tournament next week, so we're the number 1 seed. So they've
rat poison.
No, I'm just that was before the loss, so we got the loss out of the way. Pressure's off now.
Oh.
So yeah, we're good. We're fine. I'm just stating facts now.
2nd and 7 at the 38-yard line. Quick little screen out to the far side, and a flag on the play again rather quickly. He caught it, but I may be holding.
Yeah.
Because he caught the ball, nobody on him, and then the tackle was made. Let's see what the refs say. Cassidy pointing at the 40-yard line and saying something to the ref. No flag on the play. Wonder what he thought it was.
It had to be well, I don't know. I was going to say a hold. That's all I could think it was, unless there's something in formation. Whatever it was not there. So
no. Cancel your plans for tomorrow. The cheerleaders are going to be in competition at Sparkman High School, performing at 5:20, $5 spectator fee. Go support the cheerleaders. Look, Bama's not playing tomorrow. Auburn's not really playing anybody. So might as well go. Cancel your plans. Just go see them. They're looking to go deep, middle of the field, up, caught, touchdown from 38 yards out. Floyd to Blackston. And J.B. Pennington trying to cut this lead in half. They're an extra point away from doing it. They've been trying to go deep a couple times. That connection finally found. With 2:46 left. Pennington will kick the extra point. It'll be Matthew Smith. The holder will be Hayden Floyd. And it's going to be offsides on a Redskin player who will go unnamed.
Go for 2?
I think he is. Yeah, he's going to go for 2. They threw the kicking tee back to the sideline. But the one who made the penalty is a sophomore. Kind of narrows it down for you. 2:46 left. Pennington down 14-6 here in the second quarter. As a homeless person has just walked into the press box up here. And now it's going to be an offsides, or excuse me, false start. As one of the linemen moved, number 42, Dawson Phillips. So now it goes back 5 yards. So now here comes the field goal team back out.
Excuse me. It's winter. Old man winter standing up in my lungs.
Watch out, he's under the weather there, Colton.
Not really.
Hey, Halloween party last night at Legends. This guy, one of the best costumes.
Yeah.
Used car salesman.
Oh.
Sound clunkers. There's a snap. The hold. Kick is up. That one gets in. 14-7 with 2:46 left second quarter. We'll be right back after this here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in, Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde, 14-7 with 2:46 left here in the second quarter. Your team, Nancy and Shannon, scoring drive recap.
It was an 81-yard drive, capped off by that pass from Floyd to Blackston from 38 yards out. The point after by Smith was good, and Oneonta now leads 14-7 with 2:46 to play in the second quarter.
Set to kick. It'll be Matthew Smith, the senior. Excuse me, the junior for J.B. Pennington. There's the kick. Short directional over to Moon on the far side. Up to the 30, 35. Got some blockers. Gets out to the edge. 45, 50. Down to the 45, 40. He is finally corralled down. Colin Moon says, "Don't forget about me." And Oneonta will start out with great field position, their best of the night, Jeremy Hyde.
Absolutely. I'm not real clear on the horse collar rule because that right there looked like the picture in the book.
We had one last week, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
That one looked to be about the same play.
Exactly the same.
So 2:34 left, and I know for sure Oneonta's going to try to get the touchdown right here. Up 14-7, they will get it to start the second half. David Hall, the running back on this series. I think Colin, it was his turn to be the running back this series, but he'll get a quick breather after setting up Oneonta with the best field position of the night. David Hall to the right. Braden gets the snap. They'll hand off to David. David, another big run, makes the guy miss. And finally, he will fall down at the 27-yard line. David Hall, he's got good strength. He's got some good lateral quickness. He's got everything you would like in a running back. It's a Woodman-like first down. Did you ever play with a guy like David Hall?
We had, that was the late Michael Blakely. He was a stud athlete, and he was easy to block for, put it that way.
2 minutes left. 1st and 10 at the 27. You get 5 linemen for JB Pennington, 2 linebackers. They will hand it off again to David Hall. Breaks the first 2 tackles, gets out to the left, carrying another guy with him. And he finally goes down at the 24-yard line. It was only a run of 3. He ran for about 15 yards, broke 3 tackles. Well, only 3 yards to show for it. Is over 1,000 yards here tonight. Well, my goodness. Look who came up to the press box.
Hallelujah. Thank you.
And I wasn't talking about you either. They will Braden Moore design run inside the 20. He will go down. What? He got another one?
He loves me.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a timeout, Phil Phillips. Let's take it with him. 14-7, Oneonta leads with 1:12 left. Second quarter here on the Redskin Radio Network. I'll talk to you guys. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. It'll be 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 at the Pennington 19. Oneonta trying to put one more in right before the half. Up 14-7. Justin Gibbs, I'm 100% healthy. Jeremy Hyde, probably about 65%.
No, I'm
the way
fine.
You keep coughing.
I'm fine.
3 receivers to the right. Braden rolls out to the right. Braden looking. Lets one go over to Eli Buse. It will be incomplete. I'd expect Oneonta to go for it. My gosh. You talking about style and profile, my gosh. My third cousin's in here. Jeff Gibbs. And it will be 4th down with 1:04 left. Oneonta will go for it. See if we go quarterback read right here.
You said earlier there's going to be all kind of people in and out of here.
I was right. So look back to the sideline. 4th and 2 at the Pennington 19. Hodge, the up back. McGill in motion. Back to the other side. They'll hand off to David Hall. Right side. David will not get it on the first attempt. Falls forward. Ball on the ground. I think he was down. He'll be a yard short still. So it'll be a turnover on downs right here. Turnover on downs, and Pennington will get it with 56 seconds left. So 1st down for them. Good stand by the Pennington defense once again. That run defense is tough. Is that French fry good?
Man, that was a perfect one.
Some good ranch dressing they got down
seasoning.
there. Just right.
Great.
56 seconds left. See if Cassidy maybe goes deep into the playbook here. Take a couple shots deep. Oneonta getting it to start the second half. Might as well. They'll hand it off first play to Blackston, and there was nothing. Keezy Mitchell, another tackle for loss to add to his stats. It's 2nd and 15 now. Mitchell's so tough to defend.
Yeah, you know, we saw that first game. You know, his first start as a football player, and just unblocked game 1 against Aiden, and it's been like that most of the year.
He's now sitting at 10.5 tackles for loss on the year. I think they're probably just going to go, well, take this. I thought they were just going to run it. Floyd now will run the read. He'll hand it off to Blackson this way, and Oneonta sniffed it out. And that will be the final play of the first half. Oneonta's going to go to the locker room up 14-7. Well, excuse me. Phil Phillips took a timeout. The sly Phil Phillips taking a timeout with it being 3rd down. 10 seconds left. Took a quick break. You're listening to Oneonta Football here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. They added 3 more seconds to the clock because Phil Phillips is going to make him snap it one more time. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde, what did your son just say?
Something about he was chasing this ball and he face planted. He wanted me to say that over the radio. I don't know why. He's proud of that.
That's your son. That is
he's one of those. It doesn't matter what's going on the field. He's playing his own game somewhere.
3rd and 15 at Pennington's own 14-yard line. Phil's going to make him snap it one more time. Floyd puts a man in motion. They'll read it. Floyd will keep it himself right at the middle, and he will finally go down, and Phil says, okay, timeout one more time. It'll be 4th down, and he's going to make Pennington punt it with 7 seconds left. Up 14-7. We'll take another quick break. You're listening to Oneonta Football here on the Redskin Radio Network.
Doyle.
Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde. Coming up here at the half, the Swamp Tales halftime report. Special guest Jeff Gibbs will be joining us. Oneonta up 14-7 right now. And Oneonta is going to force Pennington to punt. It'll be 4th and 10. Oneonta's got a couple of guys back. Here comes the punt. As Will Robertson calls for the fair catch immediately at the 41-yard line with 3 seconds left. And Braden's got a pretty good arm. Throw one up near the end zone. You all right over there?
Well, you gave me a pencil with some brittle lead in it.
Try that one.
Throw it out there in the crowd.
Probably hit some in the back of the head.
As long as it wasn't Judge Burns, I don't care.
Hey, she wants to know why y'all don't get here the same time I do.
I told her. Same reason she doesn't get to the court on the same time all her minions get there.
Wow, you told her that to her face?
No, I did not.
Ref's discussing something with Cassidy.
You got the kickoff team out here, and I think he's going to exercise his right to a free kick.
Good Hope up 21-6 over Hanceville. We'll see them next week. It's going to be Oneonta ball. Vargas is going to go with a free kick. So at the 41-yard line, this is going to be a field goal attempt. Free kick.
50 yards. 51.
Vargas has got a good leg. Right at the 41-yard line, middle of the field, with 3 seconds left. Here's the free kick from Vargas. That one up. That one is
just short.
Yeah, just short by about a yard or 2 yards. Boy, that's close. And with the time go off the clock? Well, so Pennington will get it back. Surprised he didn't go up with a Hail Mary. So Pennington will get it at the 20-yard line, their own 20, with Oneonta up 14-7. So, well, congratulations to the ping pong team. They were at the state championship meet today. I believe the boys finished 4th in state, girls 3rd in state. I'm not kidding. We have a ping pong team.
You're a good ping pong player?
No. Jason Russell. They will go to one knee, and that will end the first half. Oneonta 14-7. And the 74th meeting all time between these two teams. We'll take a rather quick break. We'll come back with your Swamp Tales halftime report. We'll hear from Jeremy Hyde. He'll give us a first half recap of how things went. Not many touchdowns. We'll also hear from Jeff Gibbs. We'll have him coming up next as both bands will be out on the field. You're listening to Oneonta football here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde. That's your Swamp Tales halftime report. Big thanks to all of our guests. You had Jeff Gibbs, who is a legend in this area. 10 years at Oneonta with the softball program. Of course, Chase Higginbotham, the new youth director at Redeemer. As we get ready to start the second half, Charlie B's keys to the second half. Oneonta only up 14-7.
Yeah, they're going to have to get something going offensively. Had two pretty good drives there, both of them with David Hall touchdowns. But of course, one of them was that one play, 69-yard drive. But for some reason, they're just kind of stalling out somewhat on offense. But get that going, get a few more points on the board. I don't think Pennington's going to be outscoring the Redskins tonight.
As far as stats, 161-148 to JB Pennington. Pennington's got theirs through the air. There's a short squib kick as Eli Buse gets on it at the 35. Comes back our way and is down at the 40-yard line. He gets back up, and so Oneonta with 11:54 here in the third quarter, up 14-7. Rushing yards, David Hall at 87, Braden Moore at 30. Braden's also thrown for 27 yards. So 1st and 10 for the Oneonta offense, up 14-7. It's got a little bit more colder up here. Ooh. And that heat is not working for us. Braden back to pass. That one over to Andrew McAlpine, could not hold on to it. And I think it was a little bit of miscommunication on the route right there.
Well, we'll give him a little pass there. It's what is second and a half game to start here. So yeah, they'll be playing quarterback. So.
11:49 left. We'll be at home next week as Good Hope comes to town. This time David to the right, and Braden will keep it himself. Design run. David at the 45, breaks the tackle up to the 50. Hit low to the 48-yard line, 47-yard line. So Woodman Life first down, brought to you by Joey Bailey and Chris Neesmith.
I've noticed that J.B. Pennington's having a hard time tackling these guys from Oneonta. Not just David Hall, but had a hard time getting Braden down that time. Just not wrapping up, and Oneonta seems to be running through some of their arms.
11 and a half left. Now on the other side of the 50. Several of those players rather close to the big boys, trying to stay warm. They'll hand off David, right side. Got a couple of blockers over there to the right, and he's close to another first down. He'll be a yard short. It'll be 2nd and 1 as David now sitting at about 96 yards rushing. Getting close to another 100-yard game. David this year averaging 110 per game. 2nd and 1 at the 38-yard line. Pennington, 5 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and really a safety who's about 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That one on the slant, incomplete, trying to go to Andrew McAlpine, and good coverage right there as they got their hands on that one.
Yeah, that was a 1/1000th of a second too slow getting that one out there to him, just the defender. Yeah, that slant's tough one to defend. As anybody that's watched Alabama this year can attest, but that time just telegraphed it just enough to give the defender time to step in front of it.
3rd and 1. I'd expect them to go run game right here. They will with David Hall. David gets to the far side now. Along the numbers put down, it's another Women Life first down. As David Hall over 100 yards tonight. Good rushing performance. As number 11, Matthew Smith, gets up a little bit late. He's the one that took the hit. 10:15, clock running, 3rd quarter. Oneonta on top, 14-7. Braden takes a snap above his head. Back to the 35, he'll just fall on it. And Oneonta, a bad snap. First one in a couple of weeks, actually in quite a while. That goes over the head of Braden Moore. Now Braden stands at 5'10", Brody's at 6'2". There is a height difference to what Collier McPherson's used to.
Yeah. Collier.
He did say if he ever messed up, we could call his name.
Collier doesn't get a pass on that. From the former center here, he does not get a pass on that.
2nd and extremely long. Play action. Braden back to pass. He will go up. That one's going to be short on the throw and intercepted. JB, nope, it hit the grounds. There's no replay here. It'll be incomplete and a flag on the play on the Pennington sideline. I don't know about the call. With where it's located on the field, I think it's on Oneonta. There is a lineman that looks mad. It is a personal foul. One of the linemen says, I don't know what I did. So Oneonta shot themselves in the foot on the bad snap, and now it's going to get even worse. The first down's at the 13-yard line. Oneonta's going to have it on their own side of the 50. It'll be at their own 47-yard line. It's a long way to go, Jeremy.
Yeah. See what they dial up here.
What's in the playbook,
Yeah.
Phil?
What's your 2nd and mile play there, Coach Phillips?
Back to pass, Braden. They're going to go screen. That's what their play call is. A couple of blockers out in front, 40, up to the 35. David gets back to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and manageable. When I say 3rd and manageable, that was compared to the 2nd and 48 that they had to go. So they get back to the 31-yard line. That's where they mark it down.
Did somebody dry Aragon's jersey this week? A little too long, a little too hot. Is that what it is?
I can tell you who doesn't put the clothes in the dryer for the team. It ain't J.D. Whited.
He don't. He's above that.
He does not do that. He says, I'll put him in the washing machine. I ain't putting him in the dryer. Braden will hand it off to David Hall to the left, and big old number 7.
Don't do it. Oh, here it comes. Why are they not throwing the flag?
Wow. Number 79, Christopher Allred, 5'9", 235. I think he's bigger than that. Slings him to the ground after the whistle was blown.
So we saw this, for those, my don't do it. We saw the suplex type play coming.
With Hanley
right,
a couple weeks ago.
Right, yeah. Well, that time right there, you saw it coming. He was winding up. He was, getting his hips down a little bit in position, and we all knew it was coming. They blew the whistle and did it anyway, and they didn't call it. So
4th down and long. Bo out to punt to try to pin him deep. A little bit of a high snap. He pulls it down. There's the high punt. They call fair catch. Matthew Smith will take it in at the 10-yard line, and with 7:47 left, Pennington's defense bowed up a little bit, got the stop thanks to the Oneonta offense, kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
Where's Davis tonight?
I don't know.
I mean,
I think that him and his dad and his mom So thinking it's a little bit cold. Let's just stay home and listen.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I haven't heard from them. So Matt Scott, if you're listening, text me. Let me know that you're okay.
Mainly Davis. Matt, we're not really worried about you as much as we are Davis.
I think Davis. They'll actually keep it. Hayden Floyd is a linebacker in Bo Ragsdale came over to make the play. Pick up a 5 for Hayden Floyd on the design run. Braden Moore trying to stay loose over here on the sideline playing catch with Brody Pinion.
Let's see if I can find some scores here. Susan Moore still 24, Cleveland 6. That's not right.
So 2nd and 5 while you look for scores at the 14-yard line with 7:11 left. They'll hand off to Blackston on that right side. They keep attacking that side, and there's a suplex, Jeremy.
Yeah.
They didn't call it, as Bo Ragsdale was the one that laid the suplex.
Yeah. Let's go over a few here. Oneonta next week. Of course, get Good Hope here at home.
Game of the week.
JB Pennington at Piedmont next week. That'll be a fun one for somebody. Susan Moore gets Colbert Heights at home. That should Susan Moore, I would expect to roll through that one.
Yeah.
Cleveland at Sulligent next week. That's a
interesting game.
Long road trip.
3rd and 4 at the 20. Excuse me, at the 21. It looks like that one up and complete at the 20. It'll be a first down brought to you by Kristen Eastmith, Joey Bailey as I move the chains.
Yeah. So Locust Fork at Walter Welborn.
That is a tough region that Locust Fork's going up against. You had 3 teams tied for first place.
Yeah, each beating in kind of a triangle,
Yes. 9-1, 3 teams with Walter Welborn, with my mind just went blank.
Walter Welborn with 1 loss.
Piedmont.
To Piedmont.
Yeah.
Or over. They were over Piedmont. Piedmont beat Randolph County.
Yeah.
Randolph County beat Walter Welborn.
What a tough region.
Each of those only losses against each other.
1st and 10 at the 20. Play action. Over to Heppenstall as Andrew McAlpine and Will Robertson take him down at the 24, maybe the 23-yard line. Actually, take that back. They're going to give him some forward progress at the 26. And we're still waiting on word about Appalachian and Southeastern. So there's a good possibility you could come away with 7 teams in the county making it.
So I was corrected. Locust Fork's at home next week. I thought they were traveling.
Yeah, they're a 2 seed. Did Greg correct you?
Yes.
Get it right.
I don't think I said it, but whatever. Whatever, Revcom.
He thinks he's special with his car tag.
I know.
Floyd over the middle, incomplete, looking to go to Matthew Smith. Pass was way early, and it'll be 3rd down and 4. Oh, he did a basketball game last night. He's ready.
The Gregor.
The only reason he did it, though, is his son's playing on the junior high team.
Oh.
Coming up on Monday, I'll be broadcasting from Mount Pleasant Christian School.
Oh, yeah?
First ever game.
Oh, they got the new gym, new floor.
New floor, yeah.
Yeah.
First ever broadcast there. Stacy Brown's son plays on the junior varsity team, and she talked me into it. So I'm excited about going over there. Timeout on the field. It'll be a timeout. Todd Cassidy. Let's take it with him. 5:10 left. Oneonta up 14-7 here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. This game brought to you by the Oneonta Foundation for Educational Resources. Oneonta on top, 14-7 right now. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde here from Gilbreth Stadium. It will be 3rd and 4. As they put Heppenstall in motion, they'll toss it to him, going back to the far side of the field. And ball's on the ground, but Pennington will fall on it. It'll be a first down for J.B. Pennington.
Justin, this game, you look at going into it, let's be honest, we didn't expect a 14-7 Oneonta lead in the 3rd quarter. I don't know what, if J.B. Pennington's a little scrappier. Defensively, they've been playing really good football against Oneonta. Oneonta having a hard time getting anything going. They had the one big play, and then they had the one sustained drive, and they had the one big play on the first play of the other drive. Other than that, offensively, not a lot going on.
Floyd, that one out into the flats as the secondary will get to him. He only picked up 3 yards as Hayden Floyd took another shot from David Hall. Shout out to my man Jaden Warren. He's actually not even listening. He's just texting me. Wanting the score update.
Send me the link to the app. That's what I do to everybody when they text me scores or requests.
Back to pass, Floyd. He'll roll out to the left. He will keep it up to the 40. David trying to get to him, and as he runs over next to the cheerleaders, and it is a Woodman Life first down. They move the chains again. Chris Neesmith, Joey Bailey bring you that one. 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. You're right. The game's got a little bit of a lull. I saw you on the field earlier. The boss is here. So straighten up. Up 14-7. 3 receivers to the bottom for JB Pennington. Floyd back to pass. They're going to go screen out left side with us, and there's a hold. That one will come back as Bo Ragsdale got a hold of him, as well as Cameron Daly. Will Robertson was the one that was being grabbed. That will come back. Auburn in action tomorrow. They got Ole Miss. How do they bounce back after taking the loss last week? Bama's off. Of course, there's a small game coming up next week.
Yeah. Did you see the Halloween costume, the guy impersonating Gus?
Yes, that is spot on.
It was pretty good.
That was really, really good.
NASCAR. Go fast. Boom.
Here goes our kicker. Boom.
Yeah, kick it.
He's a good kicker. 3:47 left, up 14-7. It'll be 1st and 20 for JB Pennington back at their own 40. Hayden Floyd looked pretty good tonight. Back to pass. Here comes Cameron Daly. He'll go down. How about Cameron Daly?
Yeah, Cameron's another one of those sophomores that, of course, he's not got as much playing time as some of the other guys this year, but when he comes in, he's always, he's doing a good job on special teams, and that time coming in there making the big tackle for a loss.
Cameron, your name's getting mentioned. It looks like at 5'9", 187. Good kid. Very good kid. 3 minutes left here in the third.
So Cameron is the Wilson are his uncles, right?
What?
The Wilson. Caleb and Matthew.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Yes, they are.
If they are, I didn't know that. They will run the option, and this time Kobe Harper and Bo Ragsdale will take down Matthew Smith, and it will be third and extremely long.
How would you like for them to be your uncles? I mean, really.
It's kind of scary. Kind of scary. I will have to find out about that. I'll ask him after the game.
Make sure I did the math right there. I'm pretty sure that's right. Pretty sure I'm correct there.
14-7. 2:19 clock is running. 3rd and 24 for JB Pennington. The first down is on the Oneonta 42. Floyd back to pass. Rolls out. Lets one deep up. David knocked it down. Good job by David Hall. Backpedaling. Would love to see the interception, but just knock it down. So 4th down. And Pennington will punt with 2:04 left here in the third quarter. Ball's at their own 31-yard line, and Pennington had an Oneonta drive right there. Shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, went the wrong way.
You know what we need? Punt return right here.
Have we had a return for a touchdown this year?
No.
We've had a couple kickoffs on us.
I'll be honest with you. I think the last one that happened was probably Marquette White at White Plains. Here's the punt. Low punt. McAlpine says, I don't want anything to do with it, and it will take a Pennington roll to the 29-yard line. Yeah, I think the last one had to have been Marquette White at White Plains about 4 years ago. I think it was Jacobs next to last year.
He's pretty speedy.
He was. 14-7 with 1:54 left. Tommy Warhurst texts me at the half. They are up 21-6. They're over Hanceville tonight, so we'll see them next week. So 1st and 10, Colin Moon will be the running back this series. 1:54 left. McGill in motion, and the flag on the play. It's never a good. Well, it's going to be offsides on J.B. Pennington.
What? Sorry, I just watched Grown Ups for the. You watch Grown Ups? You like that movie?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's good.
It's a rather good movie.
It's a big football movie.
Just wasn't expecting you to say that. 1st and 5 now. Oh man, you can tell it's cold and getting late.
10th game of the year.
Low scoring, 14-7 right now with 1:52 left in the third quarter. Need a touchdown. Braden will hand it off to Moon up the middle to the 35-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 4.
I'll give it to J.B. Pennington. I talked about them defensively, how well they're playing. But, after that second touchdown of Oneonta, you kind of felt this game getting away from J.B. Pennington a little bit. But they've held on to that 7-point deficit, and they're just hanging around right here.
1:30 left. Buse, McAlpine, and McGill. The 3 receivers to the right of Braden Moore. Braden takes the snap. They're going to go quick screen out to McAlpine. McAlpine with some blockers across the 40 and a late tackle. He was already out of bounds, but they won't call it. Refs wanting this game to end, evidently. So they'll move the chains, though. It's a Woodman Live first down brought to you by Chris Neesmith and Joey Bailey. Boss's son getting a reception. Puts him over 400 yards on the season. Same formation again with 1 minute left. As they look back to the sideline for the play. They'll hand it off to Colin Moon, left side. Moon across the 45 to the 46, a gain of 3 right there. Colin Moon a little bit quiet tonight. Had a big game last week, getting the bulk of the carries. Co-players of the game with him and Braden Moore. His dad was pretty happy. They'll hurry back to the line. 44 seconds left, third quarter. This time they'll put the receivers to the top, and Colin Moon will go to the right of Moore. They'll run the read. Braden keeps it himself across the 50, 45, and Brody Moore, his brother told me last week, he's only going to get bigger and only going to get stronger, and it's going to be scary for the defenses. That'll be another Woodman Life first down. It's hard to imagine a kid being more athletic than Brody Moore. But Braden is. First and 10 at the 40-yard line in Pennington territory. Down to 6, down to 5, and that will be the final play of the third quarter, the previous one. Van's going to fire it up. We're going to go to commercial break. You're listening to Oneonta Football here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. I'm shocked the band didn't play basket case. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde inside the Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. Fourth quarter, Jeremy. Oneonta up 14-7. It's been if you're into a defensive game, this is your game right here.
Yeah. This doesn't have that feel, though, of a battle. This kind of has a feel of a 10th game of the year. Everybody's just kind of tired and looking at next week and cold and all that.
Moon will keep it, and he will lose a half a yard right there. Back at the 40.5 now, so second, about 10.5 now. Yeah, I think both teams maybe just want to get in, get out. Let's get ready for the playoffs. Yeah. No injuries.
But, fourth quarter, any kind of inter-county rivalry game like this, J.B. Pennington's going to start smelling this one, staying close.
Yeah.
Oneonta's about to do something here.
Second down, they will keep it himself with Braden Moore, 35, cuts back, runs over a guy. They'll pick him up. They didn't throw him down hard, but Phil I don't know if Phil was wanting a flag or what, but it's a Whitman Light first down, brought to you by Chris Neesmith and Joey Bailey. And Braden Moore starting to get a little bit more carries right now. He's starting to pick up some couple more first downs here and there.
I didn't see anything flaggable there. I think Coach Phillips was just a little upset with somebody's execution there.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line in Tiger territory. Moore will put Luke Hodge to his left in motion. Moore back to pass. Moore looking. That one goes up into the end zone to McAlpine. Incomplete. Some fans may want a pass interference call.
Some broadcasters as well.
So 2nd down.
I mean, I guess he can do that.
Yeah.
Because he can make a little contact early and pull his arm down, tackle him, that sort of thing.
2nd down and 10 at the 29 with 10:49 left. I'm glad we're at home next week. We got to get this heat going, though.
Freezing.
Like, I'm talking like real heat. Keep me warm. Moon on the carry to the right following his lineman. Got a few yards up to about the 26, a gain of 3 for Colin Moon. Just got scared from behind. Golly. Really wasn't expecting anybody behind me.
You ever go to somebody's house when the couple's been fighting and you didn't really realize it until you got there? It's kind of awkward, kind of weird. That's kind of how the game's going right now. It's kind of like something's a little off right here. That had nothing to do with being scared. Had nothing to do with being scared.
Thought that's where you were going.
No.
3rd and 6. Moore back to pass. Moore, a little bit of a jump pass, a screen to Moon across the 20, the 15, down to the 11, and a flag on the play. Is it Lyman downfield? So that one will go against Oneonta. Sometimes those linemen can stray away.
Yeah.
And that was going to be a first down play, too.
When you're a biggin with your shirt pulled up to your rib cage, it's hard to miss.
That narrows it down.
hard to miss.
That narrows it down. 10:05 left, so it'll be 3rd and 13. 3rd and 13 for the Redskins at the Pennington 32. Clock running. David Hall goes in for Colin Moon. 2 receivers to the left. See if Pennington brings any pressure. They'll just go with their 5 linemen. That one incomplete. It'll be 4th down. I expect Phil to go for it. If it wasn't so dang cold, he may go for the field goal. But they're going to go for it on 4th down. Some kid from down, I think it was South Alabama, hit like a 50-something yard field goal last week.
Another kid from Fort Payne, I believe it was, has been hitting some bombs this year.
That's a good family right there that can kick. Brother at Florida. Moore back to pass. Moore looking at that one over to David Hall and incomplete. And David would have had a first down. Off his fingertips. It was a little bit too far. And Oneonta turnover and downs with 9:36 left, Jeremy. And you're keeping Pennington in the game. They're starting to possibly believe that they can win this thing.
I know. It's like I said, they're just hanging around, and Oneonta not putting this thing away. Had every chance in the world, and just unable to get anything going that drive. That drive, just like I said, no explosiveness, kind of flat. But J.B. Pennington, if they can get some yardage early on this drive and get the ball moving down the field against this Oneonta defense, they're going to have a shot at this thing.
So 1st and 10, the band finally playing basket case. Maybe Brooke was right. They were warming up their instruments. Floyd back to pass. Here comes some pressure. He's going to go down. There on the sack, it was Bo Ragsdale, the junior linebacker. Comes up and makes the sack. That will be Bo's first sack of the year. Second and long at the JB Pennington 24-yard line for them with 9:05 left. Fourth quarter. Oneonta up 14-7. Floyd will keep it himself. Coming back this way. Here they come. Ball on the ground, but I think he was down. On the play was the other linebacker, the Duke, Luke Hodge.
Yeah, the Duke. Saw him last night handing out candy. Him and the rest of the team. You were at a different function, I believe. Made my way through the school.
Was you trying to get candy?
No. I mean, by default. I mean, I know I send my kids around. I'm going to get the good stuff.
Yeah.
My kids are weird. I know Miles doesn't even like Reese's Cups and Butterfingers. He's just like dumping it. Dad, here.
Those are the best.
Yeah, I know.
Third and long. Floyd back to pass. Here comes some pressure, and it'll be almost picked off. Bo Ragsdale diving for it. It'll be fourth down. And the Pennington offense implodes right there with 8:05 left. 8:05 left here in the fourth quarter, and Andrew McAlpine. Maybe this is it right here. Oneonta needs a little bit of a spark somewhere.
Smell a fake.
Did you do something else?
No.
Fourth down for JB Pennington. There's the punt. Not a good punt. Not a good punt. Get away from it. And Oneonta will have it at the 34-yard line. A punt of 14 yards. So Oneonta will get it in Pennington territory. If we can try to punch one more in, that would start the process of nailing that coffin. 14-7 with 8 minutes left.
I was just thinking, I was trying to write punt, and I wrote OHS, and then I broke my.
Oh my gosh, Jeremy. Oh my! I'll get you your Uniball pen next week.
It's the best.
Since it's the playoffs next week, I'll bring you the best. Handoff, David Hall, right side. David gets a good 4 yards on the first down run. Of course, David over 100 yards tonight, 2 touchdowns. He's been the only guy to get in the end zone. 20 touchdowns on the year. And he's got 1,000 yards rushing tonight. Or not tonight, but on the season. It's been a good year for the senior. Second. And about 6.5. They'll keep it with Braden Moore. Braden gets loose up to the 20. Tries to get to the far side. If he breaks it. Gets inside the 10. Braden Moore so tough at the Woodman Life first down. They'll move the chains inside the 10's first down and goal. And we have an injured Redskin down. We have an injured Redskin. I think it's Braden Moore. That is not good. Let's go to commercial break. We'll be right back. It's first and goal with 7:17 left, up 14-7 here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth, and it's an injury at a position you don't want to see, especially at any position, but especially when your starting quarterback at the beginning of the year has gone down. You put in a sophomore quarterback who's now being helped off the field, does not look good at all. And Braden Moore. So now the third string quarterback, it'll be Will Robertson, and really he's not the third string quarterback, but they're going to have to use him. David will keep it to the left side, just stiffed arm, ran over a guy, touchdown Oneonta. David Hall, his third of the night. That is a strong run. His strongest run of the night, I feel like. Touchdown Oneonta.
Yeah, that's one of those, how you just
I got you.
I got you, yeah. My quarterback's out, I got you. So David Hall with a big run that time. And his third of the night, like you said.
Is there a flag on the play?
Apparently so.
Oh, great. Let's see. Will Robertson's going to come out. We're probably going to go Wildcats. Yeah, it's on Oneonta. Here's the call.
Hold.
Yeah, hold. Take back.
That wasn't Will. It wasn't Will the Thrill. I don't know why they had to pull him out. I talked to his grandfather after his other stint at quarterback earlier in the year and asked him if he was identifying as a quarterback. He said only to the girls.
David will keep it. Design run with the Wildcat. David to the left side. Still in bounds, trying to stay in down to the 2. So David said, I don't care. I'm still going to have a big run.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's playing right now for the both quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So 1st and goal. 1st and goal for Oneonta. They're going to let that clock run. Well, actually, it stopped right now. And a hurt Pennington player now in the end zone. He gets up. They're going to say take a timeout on the field, which probably won't last long since he's already up and walking. 14-7 with 6:52 left. Oneonta on top here in week 10, 14-7. It's got to be a tough situation for Brandon Moore, who's one of the assistants that still has to help.
Keep doing his job, you know.
His mom looking after Braden down here. Shout out to Jason Russell listening tonight. All I got to say to you, Jason Russell, is shut up. Take that back. It was not 1st and goal. It'll be 2nd and goal. As they're letting the clock run down, the field will take a timeout. Take it with them. A sharp one investigations timeout. 6:26 left. You're listening to Oneonta football here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. Justin Gibbs, Jeremy Hyde. Oneonta Pennington 14-7. Redskins lead. This game brought to you by the Oneonta Foundation for Educational Resources. 6:26 left. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Oneonta still hadn't punched this ball in.
No, they're about to, though. Couple of extra backs and a flag on the play.
Moving.
Just need one more touchdown to really start nailing that coffin down.
Yeah.
Chilly nights, and now
the false starts, they seem so simple. You think, why don't they? But once, for some reason, sometimes the spinning of the earth or something gets going, and you just
gravitational pull.
There's just nothing you can do. You feel yourself about to move, and then they just will not snap the ball.
Will was about to go in. They put him back on the sideline. It'll be a Wildcat with David Hall and Colin Moon.
They gatewooded him.
Yes, they did. They'll hand off Colin Moon nothing. He'll lose a yard. Back to the 9.
They Joey gatewooded him back to the fence. Getting back there.
Only difference is Will ain't quitting.
Hopefully he ain't transferring out. Will not enter the portal.
Oh, man. 3rd and goal from the 9. I say you roll out David and throw one.
Well, this place would erupt. I don't know. There's much erupting going on at this point.
Twyla would.
Yeah.
And I would as well, because I'd like to see David 3 touchdowns tonight. Why not? Give him a passive touchdown. 3rd and goal from the 9 now. Oneonta had it at the 2 a while ago. David will keep it himself to the left, trying to get to the edge. He does to the 5, stays in bound, walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Oneonta. Maybe that's the nail in the coffin. Oneonta extends the lead to 20-7. That is his 3rd touchdown of the night, 21st on the year. .532 left. Vargas will kick the extra point. Will Robertson will hold. Snap, the hold, the kick. That one is up and good. 5:32 left. Oneonta now leads 21-7 here on the Redskin Radio Network. Welcome back in. Team 1 Toyota broadcast booth. Your team Nancy and Shannon scoring drive recap.
It was capped off by that 10-yard run in by David Hall of the touchdown. there. And the point after was good. Oneonta leads 21-7 with 5:32 to play in the game.
I think tonight's player of the game, which is brought to you by Team Nancy and Shannon, may be pretty easy this week.
I think it's kind of a no-brainer.
Vargas will kick, up 21-7. Heppenstall will get it at his own 7. Back to the 10, the 15, and he will go down as, who was that? Was that Moon? No. Riley McGill was the one that got a hold of him at the 21-yard line.
We talk about Heppenstall a lot tonight. What a great football player he is. Several catches in traffic, jumped up, got a few, and that time a pretty good return there. Took a big lick though.
He did. 21-7, 5:25 left. It is cold, cold, cold. 1st and 10. Poor Hayden Floyd and his Tigers offense. They'll hand it off to Blackson. Here comes Mitchell again. Mitchell, I think that's his 3rd tackle for loss tonight. It'll be 2nd and 13. He just causes so much chaos in the middle of that offensive line.
Yeah. You know, he's talking about the games earlier. We got stopped. The Locust Fork hosts Walter Welborn. That's as far as we got. And then we got 2 more. Southeastern and Appalachian both trying to figure out. They'll probably know at the meeting tomorrow that the coaches will all go to. Which one of those? We'll assume Southeastern will go. Appalachian, not sure about.
Jason Russell tells me it's not cold. Of course, he's probably sitting at home.
Sure.
That one on the little curl route caught. They got back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 9 as Dawson Blackston was the one on the reception. 21-7, 4:29 left. Phil will be heading down to Montgomery tomorrow morning for the meeting for the state playoffs. He's going with somebody. I can't remember who he said.
Get back to Jason Russell. You know, he was part of my staff this year on the undefeated Redskin T-ball team, which we didn't use a T.
Legend.
So, Coach White is on that staff. Kevin Nicodemus.
5 wide. Another out route. Incomplete. That one into the ground. Eli Busing coverage along with Riley McGill. And it is 4th down and 9. Fan getting into it.
Coach Russell made sure all our players they were introduced to potted meat. That's the kind of stuff you eat. That's the kind of stuff you eat in Town Creek.
Yeah. If you could see my face right now, Russell.
You don't like potted meat?
No. 4th down. Nobody back for Oneonta. They're in this safe defense. They'll roll out. They're actually going to try to. Nope. They finally will punt it. And it will take a small Pennington roll at the Pennington 49. So a 26-yard punt, which was almost going to be a loss of about 10 if he didn't get it off after he ran around for a bit. 3:48 left. There's a couple of light bulbs out on that scoreboard. Russell needs to go change those. 1st and 10, I would expect a lot of run plays. A lot of run plays. Will Robertson, the quarterback. Braden Moore out with an injury.
I think Will the Thrill's going deep here. Show off that arm strength.
They'll put Hodge in motion. A little bit of a high snap. They'll hand it off to Moon. Moon scampers to the 47-yard line. Scampers. 2 basketball teammates on the court. Quarterback and running back with Moon and Will Robertson. So you got those, and then you got Riley McGill's playing basketball this year. David Hall's playing basketball. Eli Buse playing basketball. Who am I forgetting?
Aragorn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Aragorn and Caleb Wilson and Matthew Wilson. They'll hand off counter to Moon to the 45, maybe the 44-yard line. Clock running. 3rd and we'll say 5. 3rd and 5. Is that, Aragorn pulled down his jersey somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say it's
I think it's a little bit cold. Pennington's band playing Sweet Caroline. 2:40 left, up 21-7. Oneonta will earn their 7th victory on the season. 7-3 going into the playoffs with a first-round home game. Letting the clock down to 5, down to 4. They'll take the snap, hand off to Moon again for the 3rd straight play, and Moon will be about 2 yards short. It's 4th down, and some extra pushing there at the ends. And Cassidy was going to take a timeout. Wants to.
If you put your hands up after shoving somebody, that immediately relieve you of any guilt.
Yeah. Yeah, let's keep it here. We'll talk about next week. Good Hope coming into town, and my mind has went blank on the running back's name, but I believe it was Walker, big running back for Good Hope. He's back again this year for them. They've had a good season, as I think they're going to be sitting at 8-2 regular season for them coming here. We saw the Raiders last year in the 3rd round of the playoffs. We defeated them to go on to Deschler. If Oneonta wins next week, we'll probably see Deschler in the 2nd round at their place. You looking up Good Hope?
Yeah.
I think they're 8-2 with a win tonight.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, lost to Northside and Fayette County, both region games.
Yeah, those two teams finished 1st and 2nd in the region. So good losses for them, if you can have a good loss. David Hall's going to be back in here. And Oneonta will go, well, take that back. They're going to go for it. Bo went out there and I thought they were going to punt.
That's Matt Dixon was the player you're trying to think.
That's it. He's not back this year. Take that back. Thought he was for some reason. 4th and 2. David will keep it himself. Middle of the field. There's the hole for David. One last run up to the 30-yard line. And it's another Woodman Life first down, brought to you by Chris Neesmith and Joey Bailey. And that clock will start rolling as Will the Thrill comes back in. Does he know that's what you call him?
I don't know. You should expect it, though.
Yeah. He's a thrill on the basketball court.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good basketball player.
The potted meat is sitting on the trophy at the rec.
Oh, yeah. I saw it last week.
Oh, Russell.
I got to tell you, there's 3 trophies in that trophy case, actually, from that team. There was the county champs. There was the BPA Rec League tournament we ran through the competition at, and then All-Stars. Took our regular team to the All-Stars, came in runner-up. So
timeout on the field by, I'm not sure who took the timeout, but we're going to keep it here. 1:33 left. Jeremy had...
stay warm. Just stay warm.
Did you dress up last night for Halloween?
No. Got dressed up like a washed-up old
deadbeat
dad.
A former athlete.
Yeah.
I saw Nick Riley.
Very former.
Before the game earlier, and he shaved the beard. I said, "Why'd you shave?" He said that for Halloween he decided to be Uncle Rico. And was going with the stash. Thing is, there wasn't much of a stash, so it's kind of in between. He says it'll grow back pretty quickly. So, victory formation for the Skins with 1:33 left. Will Robertson will be the one to take the snaps. Ball's at the 30. He stands at the 35. Snap goes to one knee. At the 36, actually, and the clock will run. So Pennington will have the opposite record of us. They'll go 3-7 into the playoffs. They'll be at Piedmont for the first round. Oneonta 7-3 a year after making it to the semifinals, losing 3 key players who had over 50 touchdowns. And they get a first round home game. It's a step in the right direction for Phil Phillips in his 2nd year at the helm of the football. Up 21-7, clock running, and they'll take one more knee. They'll have to do one more, actually. as the baby powder is being thrown in the student section. A lot of baby powder. 21-7 as they'll line up one last time. Will take the snap, goes to one knee, and that will do it. 7-3 for the Redskins here in the regular season. 7-3. They win. They defeat JB Pennington 21-7. Your final score. Final thoughts, Jeremy Hyde, before we do our Team Nancy and Shannon player of the game.
Well, it's one of those games. It was kind of a trap game for Oneonta in a way. The playoffs are set. This is a non-region game. It is a rivalry type game, but it's one of those get in, get out. Hopefully nobody hurt, but we did have a pretty significant injury to a
key player.
Key player. So see how that shakes out. See what happens. So, but overall good victory. Good way to get out of here. 21-7, solid. So we'll be ready to go next week. Get ready for the playoffs and another home game. I tell you what, after last year, this 4 home games in a row, at least 4. Yeah. Hopefully more than that. Well, there'll only be 4 at home, but it's been nice ending the season here with 4 home games.
Oneonta will finish the regular season as well, undefeated at home. It's another good thing to put on this resume for Oneonta. Your Team Nancy and Shannon player of the game, I think it's a no-brainer, is David Hall tonight. His 3 touchdowns, the only touchdowns of the night for Oneonta, over 100 yards rushing, over 1,000 on the year, 21 touchdowns on the season. Another strong performance for the senior running back.
Absolutely, yeah. He had a little bit of injury bug here late in the season, but tonight just did a great job and got after it. And that last touchdown, he scored 3 times on that last drive.
Yeah,
but did a great job.
Final score 21-7. We'll be back at home next week. Game of the week. It'll be on Hits 95.3, 94.7 as Oneonta will play host to Good Hope. Final score once again 21-7. Oneonta defeats JB Pennington in the regular season 7-3. You've been listening to Oneonta football here on the Redskin Radio Network.